Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine. As you can see, Kisumu is also fantastic. And maybe you could also let me know where you are watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, over the weekend, Uhuru Kenyatta was hosted by Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka in Mwingi. And that visit by Uhuru Kenyatta to Mwingi is actually significant, politically speaking, for two main reasons. Number one, it was the first major political event Uhuru Kenyatta was attending after leaving office. In short, Uhuru Kenyatta announced his comeback to politics. And the fact that Uhuru Kenyatta is making a comeback to politics is not sitting well with the majority of UDA leaders, especially from the mountain. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you guys why UDA leaders from the mountain are actually terrified by the possibility of Uhuru Kenyatta's return to politics. So that's why it's significant. Number two, the fact that Uhuru Kenyatta was hosted by Kalonzo Musyoka also was a coded message that Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga are definitely or are likely to support Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, because the visit was coming just a few months after Raila Odinga had actually hosted through his brother Uhuru Odinga, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka in Bondo. But why would Mount Kenya leaders feel uncomfortable with Uhuru Kenyatta's return to politics? That's exactly what I want us to look into in this particular video. But before we do that, let me begin this video by going through the reaction of Mount Kenya leaders to that visit by Uhuru Kenyatta. Because remember, during the church fundraiser, Uhuru Kenyatta just made, I think it was a less than 1 minute statement, political statement, where he explained that nowadays Kenya Kwanza government are blaming him for everything. In fact, that statement by Uhuru Kenyatta, I don't think it really deserved the kind of harsh comments from Mount Kenya leaders. Listening to Uhuru Kenyatta first.
Kwa hivyo, mimi sitaki minene mengi. Na sio kwa sababu naogopa, don't think mimi hiyo mambo ya kuogopa iliisha. Tumetishwa, tumeambiwa nini, tumeambiwa sijui nini, kila saa mtu akishindwa njia ya kufanya kitu yake, sijui serikali iliyopita. Sasa kesho yake mtasema hata watoto wakikataa ama mama akikataa kuzaa, tumezoea tu, tunayasikia inaingia na inapita na tunaendelea. Kama ni namna gani? Tangu ni kuwaombea amani, umoja, na tuje sasa tufanye kazi ile ambayo imeleta. Hiyo ndio hamu yangu kubwa sana. Tufanye kazi ya kutoa kila mtu shilingi yake, ndugu yake, yote.
Now that's Uhuru Kenyatta, and that was the only political statement Uhuru Kenyatta made during that particular church service. Now this is how Moses Kuria responded. My response to Uhuru Kenyatta. So you wonder why Moses Kuria would respond to Uhuru Kenyatta when Uhuru Kenyatta really did not address him as a person. Now this is what he's saying. Number one, every day the full magnitude of the mess you left behind is dawning on us. We are not complaining. We will continue to clean the mess. We can do so when you are quiet better. You see, the thing is, and this is what Moses Kuria is still trying to do here, and that's what Uhuru Kenyatta was alleging, that they are blaming him for everything. Remember, Uhuru Kenyatta became the president of the Republic of Kenya in 2013. The debt, which these guys keep on talking about, were actually incurred, most of them, in the first term of Uhuru Kenyatta's regime. The Eurobond, the inflation of the SGR contract. No, they never talk about them because they were there. So they know Kenyans will point some of those things. So they're hiding behind some subsidies, you know. Now he's saying, you thought the economy would collapse by December 2023, as you have told your friends repeatedly. Now that is clear, we have navigated your murky waters. You are still over again. The truth of the matter is that when Kenya Kwanza came into office, they told the country that they had a plan. So it is now clear to each and every Kenyan that that plan has failed. And that's why they keep on blaming Uhuru Kenyatta. In fact, when they began, they asked Kenyans to give them, because there are certain things they promised to do in 100 days, they never did them. Then they promised Kenyans they'll achieve some of them in 6 months, they never. Then they requested Kenyans to give them 1 year. Again, they failed because it's over 1 year. Now, they were requesting Kenyans for 2 more years. In fact, the other day, I think, who was that? My friend, the government spokesman, requested for like how many years? 3 years. So which means if you add Kenya Kwanza 3 years, and 1 year is already elapsed, so that would mean 4 years. So basically, they have failed. So he's saying, number 3, if you have a problem with Kimani Ichungwa's state capture bill, call him directly or visit him in Gikambura. So the thing is, every time there's an issue, Kenya Kwanza must come up with something. You know, they're talking of now state capture bill. You know, Kimani Ichungwa is the majority leader. If he has a bill, why don't he just go to the floor of the house and prosecute the bill? That's what Kenyans are asking. Not these things they are saying here. The last time Raila Odinga talked about Mandamano, they were like, Uhuru Kenyatta wanted to evade tax. You remember? So that's how these guys are. Every time there's an issue, Uhuru Kenyatta just made a very polite statement. Because previously, I think the same week, there were some leakages at JKIA, which was embarrassing. And Kipchumba Murkomen, who is the cabinet minister, was asked and he was blaming Uhuru Kenyatta. And Rigathi Gachagua actually supported him. And you wonder why they would blame Uhuru Kenyatta 1 year later. And you know, when JKIA was, that side was constructed over 2 years ago, it had never leaked. So which means someone within Kenya Kwanza government wanted to create tenders. So they went and, so let me not go there. And then he's saying number 4, that you are not happy that Raila has refused your contract to post violence. You called him that you would make him president, then fire all your experienced campaign managers. You lied to the old man, and now you want to manage him again by saying you are in Azimio to stay. Mjinga. You see, this is just total contradiction. If Uhuru Kenyatta lied to Raila Odinga to their advantage, why would he have a problem with Uhuru Kenyatta still trying to lie? So it just means that Moses Kuria is also trying to play some cheap politics in the hope that Azimio supporters would buy whatever he's saying here, which is not the case. So happy Sunday. And then Kimani Ichungwa also responded. In fact, I've played several of those Kimani Ichungwa's responses, and I don't want to play them again. But in this video, I want to focus on why Mount Kenya UDA leaders are not comfortable with Uhuru Kenyatta's return to politics. But before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, you can support this channel through various means. The first one, and the one which I normally prefer, is for you guys just to press that thumbs up button, because if you do that, there's a way YouTube believes that you guys are enjoying the video. So just press that thumbs up button, and of course you can also drop your comment. And of course there's the group, the Ligang, who always send the coffee. You can also do the same using the numbers you are seeing on the screen, because it also goes a long way in supporting the channel. Now let us dive in. Why do you think UDA leaders from the mountain are not comfortable with Uhuru Kenyatta's return to politics? In fact, even if Uhuru Kenyatta is silent, they are not comfortable. Why do you think they are uncomfortable? Number 1 is the fact that currently UDA or Kenya Kwanza government is losing popularity. The net effect is that Uhuru Kenyatta's popularity is surging in the mountain. And that's why you've seen videos after videos after videos of the residents of the mountain asking Uhuru Kenyatta to come out, regretting why they never listened to Uhuru Kenyatta. So the biggest fear is that if Uhuru Kenyatta were to make a political comeback, there's a chance that a high percentage of the mountain are likely to troop back to Uhuru Kenyatta's corner. Do you know how that would affect them? The fact is, there's a chance that they may not make it, politically speaking. The truth is, as we speak, and let me ask you this question, and especially those who voted for this government and are watching this video. If you are given a chance again today if you voted for this government, okay, let's just make it a broad question to everybody. If you were to be given a ballot paper again to choose, would you tick for William Ruto? Let me know in the comment section. If you would tick, just say tick. If not, just say X. So that's the biggest fear. Number two, Uhuru Kenyatta is endowed financially. And because Uhuru Kenyatta is endowed financially, it means Uhuru Kenyatta can really disrupt them. And that's why these guys are always on the neck of Maina Njenga, because they are convinced that Uhuru Kenyatta is the one funding Maina Njenga. You saw today Maina Njenga was in Nakuru. What happened? He was to attend some court. The police were poured all over, and his supporters were stopped from going to court or attending that court process. So that is their biggest fear. If Uhuru Kenyatta were to decide today, in fact, sometimes when I look at Uhuru Kenyatta and I think about the 2022 election, I think either Uhuru Kenyatta was played by his team or he just was not keen. Because Uhuru Kenyatta has the money, Uhuru Kenyatta can match candidates in a mountain. For example, in his own county of Kiambu, if Uhuru Kenyatta wanted to sponsor serious candidates and match them with money and just have them campaigning on the ground, he would have succeeded. So that is the fear, that Uhuru has the money and therefore can really disrupt their peace in the mountain. And number three, if you look at the 2022 IBC figures, something was not adding up. Kenya Kwanza leaders from the mountain are aware that the results that were announced by IBC were actually cosmetic. And that's why you've seen Martha Karua always challenging them that if you know we never delivered for Azimio, please just open the server. Because there's the truth that the figures that were announced by IBC were not the actual figures. Those were figures which were used or which were generated by Form 34A Book 2, which was not supposed to be the case. So the truth is, they fear that if Uhuru were to make a comeback and then the figures in the last elections were doctored, and also now that Uhuru Kenyatta is more wiser, then there's a chance that they'll definitely lose. And number four, Uhuru Kenyatta is on a revenge mission. When someone is revenging, is on a mission to revenge. Because, when Kenya Kwanza took over, they said for them, they will not interfere with Uhuru Kenyatta and any other person. Uhuru Kenyatta handed over power to them. Uhuru Kenyatta decided to take a low profile. These guys actually looked for Uhuru Kenyatta from where Uhuru Kenyatta was relaxing. They went to his farm, blah, blah. So Uhuru Kenyatta is waiting to revenge. And he's going to revenge. Uhuru Kenyatta is going to revenge. He's waiting for that time to revenge. So the question is, will these guys manage Uhuru Kenyatta with the current rebellion against Kenya Kwanza in Mount Kenya? That is their biggest fear. And lastly, the truth is, Kenya Kwanza has failed their supporters big time. They've failed. And because Kenya Kwanza has failed, they have become very unpopular. So whatever they used to accuse Uhuru Kenyatta of failing to do is now proving that Uhuru Kenyatta actually did a lot in terms of development for the mountain, in terms of stabilizing the prices of coffee. The farmers were benefiting. Even the milk sector, which they claim Uhuru Kenyatta was, Uhuru Kenyatta captured, was doing much better under Uhuru Kenyatta. So they fear that those Kenya Kwanza failures will make Uhuru Kenyatta a hero in the eyes of the mountain. So if I were Uhuru Kenyatta, I'll do two things. The first thing I'll do, I'll organize Thanksgiving rallies in the mountain. Number two, I'll start mobilizing for my own political party. I don't know what you think, because Jubilee is gone, by the way. I don't know what you think, but that's my take. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.